Hey guys, I'm back to do another video. So I'm working on the Rovan Baja 5B 49cc two-stroke RC car. So getting the shock tower together. Got this piece here, got another one coming in. I'm probably going to end up ordering a whole kit, shock tower kit, the whole thing. Be about $79 to a little over $100 for that setup. I also want to replace this here right. I don't know if you guys can actually see it, but it's part of the steering. It's all of this piece all up in there. I have that piece coming in a polished aluminum. I think it's polished anyhow. Silverish. It's aluminum. So I have this taken apart. Realized that there's more to the shock tower than just that. There's also a piece. This here is the old one. There's also a piece, actually, I believe, yeah, it goes that way. So it would set up on there like that. So with this here, all right, let's see, that would pretty much sit like that, kind of. Let's see, yeah. Actually, hold on. Like that. Yeah. So anyhow, there's another piece that would bolt onto here that would cover that there. There's these pieces here that mount into that hole right there. And then, of course, there's these, I got these, let's see, I think I got these pieces coming in. There's actually a lot that goes into replacing the shock tower. There's a lot of different pieces. They're all aluminum. They all bolt together. So I'll work on that later. I know how all this goes back together. Earlier I was working on the exhaust. Now I'm not done with it quite yet. Not yet. The exhaust here, the pipe was hitting against right there. That's no good for me. Nah. So it's really difficult to get these screws in there, but I've been managing. This one here is giving me a little bit of problems, but I'll get it in there. It just takes a little bit of time and a bit of finessing. I wanted it to be away from here, so I had to cut it, weld it, and back and forth between the shop and inside the house to test fit it back and forth until I got it right. I also wanted it not only pushed that way, away from this here, but I also wanted it to drop down a little bit. Now, as you can see, these are the brackets that I made for it. It originally had some up here, but they were real short and didn't work with this setup that I'm doing. So I wanted it to be lower. Much lower. So you can see now that that's definitely lower. You know, I like that. This here was actually sitting about that high, roughly about that high, higher than what I was wanting. At the time, I didn't want to take a chance of cutting and welding the pipe because it's so thin. I've had quite a bit of practice on my TIG welder. Um, so I figured, you know what? I'm just going to do it. So I did. I went ahead, I cut it, welded it up, made several cuts actually. It didn't take just one cut. No, no, no. It took several. Getting it just right, making sure that it was level, you know, making sure that it dropped down enough, making sure that it wasn't this way or that way, you know. Oh, and I built myself a stand to put it up on, which of course, as you see, works quite nicely. Um, let's see. So that's what I've been doing with it. I want to make this a 3-speed, and it's very possible and it's very doable. Um, so I'd have to change out a lot of this. It comes in a kit, you know, a full kit. You change out a bunch of the stuff that's in here, and there you go. You know, you put on your 3-speed parts, and yeah. Not like this thing needs to be a 3-speed, because good God, you know, this thing's crazy fast just as it is. But you know what? You know, hell with it, you know. All right, so I got these here. These here are the gaskets for the exhaust. Now, on a normal Baja 5B, this here would work quite nicely. It'd work quite nicely. Not on that one. That thing is it's a 49cc. So the port on it is bigger. The bolt spacing is just a little bit further spaced out. So no, those will not work. I will have to hunt for the spacers, spacers, the gaskets for it. You know. So let me show you. This one here is a blown one that came right out of it, okay? So you take this, line that up. All right, so that's pretty lined up right there. So you can see it's a little bit off. It's this here. It isn't big enough, including the hole. See, you can see the difference between the size of the hole here and here. That one is bigger. So I also got this here. This here would probably work just fine on any other of the Bajas. Not on that one. This here is same size as those. Same size. Not that one. This thing's a beast. So I can make these. That's not a problem. I can make those. I have gasket material to make gaskets. You know, all I need is that's all I need to make it. So that's not a problem. If I have to, I will make them. And technically it'd probably be a lot easier just to make it. So I wanted to show you guys this here, what I'm doing. I also want to do the max extended A-arms on this, aluminum of course. Different shocks. Seen some on eBay that are pretty nice. They're all silvered out, have a piggyback reservoir on them. So I was thinking about that. I was also thinking, it's just a thought. I'm not so sure I want to do it, but if I wanted to, I could. Hydraulic disc brakes for the front. I was also thinking about that. It's kind of expensive, but not too bad, you know. I have to clean up the damn wiring on this. It's a mess. I got the camera mounted in for the most part. And it does work. You know, it definitely works. I tested that out. So, anyhow, yeah, there we go. The soda's there, so you guys can, I mean, the sodas, these cans, they never change on the size on them. So, size comparison. So you guys can see how big this thing is. I mean, this thing's a monster. It really is. It's anyone that has one of these, y'all know what these things can do. Of course, not too many of you that have these have this exact one, this 49cc beast. You know, it's it's pretty crazy. It's fun. Have to go out in an open field and get used to it. My place is pretty good size for any of the normal RC cars, off-road RC cars, dirt cars, whatever, buggies, trucks, you know, plenty of room here. Plenty of room. More room than what's needed. Not for that. This thing can rip from one side to the other in just a matter of, you know, under 5 seconds. I mean, this thing's absolutely nuts. You know, just crazy. I could rip it up and down the street, you know, which I have. I'm surprised I didn't wreck it. Because I thought I was going to. So I brought it in here and then I wrecked it in here and and it's been sitting here. Well, actually it's been sitting in the hobby room for months since I moved into this brand new place. So it's been sitting here ever since, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to get on this. I'm going to get it fixed up. I'm going to get it going and, you know, start doing the upgrades on it. You know, so basically from what I hear, when you strengthen one weak spot on the car, then basically it'll transfer the weak spot to some other part of the car where it's at the weakest point. So you upgrade this, all right? Fine and good. Now this here is weak here. So you take a nose hit, you're going to damage your chassis, you're going to damage your arms. You upgrade the arms and all of this in here. You still have the chassis, so you do some more upgrades to strengthen that up. You know, and then it just kind of, if you start here and you upgrade and get it all solid, you have to keep going. You have to keep going, you know, because until you work yourself all the way back. I mean, there's a lot of you that can run one of these no problem. No problem at all. Me, it's been a little bit of time since I've ran a buggy, and definitely never done one of these before, but it's pretty much the same concept, except that has a ton more power and more faster than any RC car I've ever used, ever. So it's going to take some time to get used to it. So upgrading, making it stronger, yes. As far as anybody that comments like, oh, it's going to take away the power, oh, it's going to add weight. You know what? That's great, because the car doesn't notice. It has no idea that I added weight. It still hauls ass all the same. It really does. I mean, this thing is like, I could probably, I don't know, all aluminum. It wouldn't know the difference between aluminum and plastic. It would not know, because this thing is so damn, it's so fast. I wouldn't know the difference, that's for sure. I mean, good Lord, you know. So that's what I've been up to. I've been modifying and upgrading. As far as the modifications, the pipe. That's what I'm modifying. That and this here, putting in the camera. That's another modification. The lights are right here. This here is going to be kind of resting on it, so I'm going to move the lights. Actually, I don't even need them. I mean, I'm not going to be running this at night, not around here. I mean, you get all the dogs barking and neighbors all, because, you know, I mean, this thing's really loud. I mean, really, really loud. So I'm sure the neighbors will not appreciate me running this at night. Oh, and another thing, the pipe right here, I opened it up. I took the my Dremel with the sandpaper wheel, and little by little I cleaned it and worked it and opened it up, so it's more open. One side was more closed than the other. I believe it was, well, one of the sides. I opened that up. Both sides are equally opened up, so the airflow, the exhaust, when it goes through, it'll split evenly now. So that's good. I like that. And I am running this thing crazy rich. I'm going to need to lean it out a bit. I'll do that once I get more of it together. Yeah. So anyhow, there you go. Want to show you what I've been up to, and I built a whole nother table. Kind of ran out of room on this one. Next time I do a video working on the car, I did put in this bar here so I can put the camera up here. I could put my phone, which I'm using right now. I could put it here so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. I can loosen it here, move it to wherever I need to. This one here for the GoPro, if I decide to use the GoPro, I can use that. I can use them both at the same time, you know. So next time I'm working on this and I want to show you guys what I'm doing, I'll probably have it over here. Of course, it'll be much cleaner, and I'll use that so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. So there we go. Yeah. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, be nice.